I decided to make a film or a video about this film. It's called The Adjustment Bureau. It was made in 2011. What I've been saying about Matt Damon, Riley Ryan, my videos that I put out last week. Okay, and then the night before his presidency, things happen and he gets slurred, and now they've voted and he knows that he's losing, and he goes to the toilet, and then this scene happens. Okay, now the reason I'm making this video is so they are trying to do something like this with us. You will see, if you haven't seen The Adjustment Bureau, you will see as the my video goes on what I'm trying to tell you. I am going to play the footage, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk over this. I don't want to get copyright strike, but I want to tell you the story, because basically Matt, he's not winning his election. He goes to the toilet and he hears someone in the toilet, and then obviously she comes out of the toilet, and he says like, well what are you doing in here? It's the men's toilet. She said, well, I'm trying to get away. What it is that I crashed a party, and then basically the security are after her. So he's like, anyway, of course there's a bit of flirtation, because she realises who he is, chatting away, and he's saying things and she's saying, well, you love it, you'll carry on doing it. And then they've got this instant action for each other. Even though it's in the men's toilet, they had to look like they were in love with each other. That's what I looked at the conversation afterwards when Matt was talking. He said they've got to look like they've fallen in love in the toilet. Anyway, the important thing is, if she hadn't done what, she wouldn't be there, and this is the whole part of the film. So she turns up in his life, and anyway, they're talking away and flirting with each other, and small talk about politicians and stuff like that. And he's absolutely fixated with her, as you can see in the film. And of course, it's been an absolute nightmare trying to read it, but it would be, wouldn't it? It would be a nightmare. Anyway, they're yapping away. Flirt, flirt, flirt. It's coming. I know there's no volume, but I don't want to put the on because I don't want to get a copyright. And I'd rather just tell you the story, even though I might play little bits of it so you get it. So she's saying, oh, I like a man with a straight tie, and he says it's a clip-on, and she said, really? Anyway, yeah. So, we're waiting for the eventful kiss, just to show you that it happens. He's never met her before. She's gate crashed a party, so she's in the building for that reason. But they're falling in love with each other. That's it, they're in love. It's going to be a kiss. Here it comes. It took me a nightmare to film this, it really did. And even you can see it's glitching. Anyway, here it comes. That's it, there's the kiss. And love with each other. Anyway, basically someone comes into the toilet and she leaves the toilet. Okay, so that's where that part. Someone comes in. I can't tell you the problems that I've had filming this. I mean, mega problems. I can't film the video. I can't do anything. Anyway, so after he's met the girl, he needs to go and do his speech because he's lost. They slandered him, and he makes a bit of a joke of it because he's a different kind of person. Okay, so that's what this is about. And then he's thinking about his life, and things are happening. He needs to go to work, but he does things differently. He goes on the bus. That's what's going to happen. He gets on a bus. And but needs to go to work. Him getting ready to go to work. He gets on the bus and he sits down right next to her and realizes this is the girl to be in the toilet. And he couldn't get in touch with her because, well, anyway, in touch with her. Anyway, of course, he's trying to stop them having this conversation. In the film, the black person is trying to stop them getting together because it's not written in the plan. So the black guy's running around trying to stop it while they're falling more and more in love with each other. In the Adjustment Bureau, the plan is they're not supposed to meet. They're not supposed to fall in love. That's not what the plan is. But they're falling in love with each other. So the plan is changing and the Adjustment Bureau can't stop it. What we find out later in the film is that originally they were supposed to be together. They were written together, and then they were written out of being together. That's why they feel that they need to be together. So much is happening that they don't have anything about. This is the black guy. He's supposed to be catching up with them and stopping Matt Damon and her getting together. And what it is Matt Damon takes her telephone number, but it's all against the plan. It's not supposed to happen, but it does, against the wishes of the Adjustment Bureau. So, if you understand, to the Adjustment Bureau, they're not supposed to be on the bus together. They're not supposed to be talking to each other. He's not supposed to be taking her number. That's not what the plan says, but it is happening. It's happening because they love each other. Anyway, so basically, Matt Damon gets her telephone number. So that's what that's about. All the flirtations and all that going on and whatever's going on, and he's so taken with her, he gives the number. And then he goes to work. Oh, well, he actually tells him first of all. But when he gets to work, his friend is being scanned and all that, and the Adjustment Bureau are there, and they go, look, get him, get him, get him. Anyway, so he tries to get away, he runs away, and then we've got the next bit of the movie of my video. Go. This has been hell. It won't let me record it. It's the whole thing I'm trying to film is that what's happening, but it's like it's happening to me. I can't film it. I've just played it to Nigel. The recorder won't record. It's fine now. The blue light's on because I'm not filming the film. So basically, he's met her, he's made his speech, then he's told his friend, and then he's got on the bus and he's bumped into her by accident on the bus. And then the black guy who's monitoring him and trying to stop him talking to her tries to make him spill his coffee, all that. But anyway, he gets her number. So I'm going to put the clip in a moment about what happens when, after this, the Adjustment Bureau meet up with him and they tell him, well, I'll play the clip of that. I shall put it in now.
Are the people who make sure things happen according to plan. My name's Richardson. Oh. You really think I couldn't see that coming? I can read your mind. Yeah, really. Pick a color. Blue. Pick a number, 17. Now, why are you still thinking about running?
If you know the work of science fiction writer Philip K. Dick, you know he's not one of the world's great romantics. A lot of movies have been made from Dick's books, Dick's short stories, things like Blade Runner, Total Recall, Minority Report. Now there's a new one, it's called The Adjustment Bureau. What the filmmakers have done is taken the core of Philip K. Dick's idea and grafted a romance onto it.
Why do you want to keep us apart? Because the plan says so. Well, then you misread the plan.
No, there's no misreading the plan when it comes to you and Elise.
The plan's wrong.
Do you know who wrote it?
I don't care.
Well, you should. You should really show a little respect.
If I'm not supposed to be with her, how come I feel like this?
The core idea is that there is an adjustment bureau that exists in the world that kind of pushes and shoves people's lives to make sure we're in line with the master plan for what we're supposed to be doing. The romance involves Matt Damon as a young politician, Emily Blunt as a young dancer. They meet, they fall in love, but the Adjustment Bureau thinks there's something wrong with this.
Can't outrun your fate, David.
I just disagree with you about what my fate is.
I know what I feel for her, and it's not going to change. All I have are the choices that I make, and I choose her.
The film is a little shaky, but Emily Blunt and Matt Damon make a great romantic couple, and they make Philip K. Dick more romantic than he's ever been before. For the Los Angeles Times, this is Kenneth Turan.
Right, so now we've seen the clip. Explain it, Nigel.
Well, now we've seen the clip. He got a number. The Adjustment Bureau made him, or managed to get him to hand over the number, and they burned it because they don't want them to meet. So then the next part, I don't know if you got this yet, Karen, but he spends essentially the next 3 years taking that same bus trip every day, hoping that he'll meet her again on the bus. And eventually he sees her outside. He looks out the window and he sees her on the street, so he gets the bus to stop and he bails out.
But then what happens is they obviously kiss and the rest of the stuff, and then what it is as he's watching her, one of the Adjustment Bureau turn up and say, what they say to him is that if he is destined to be the president and she will be a big choreographer and have a career and so forth like that, but if he stays with her, he won't be the president and she'll just be teaching little children. She will not progress her career. Anyway, she injures herself and she has to go to hospital, and then he thinks about things and he leaves her there. So after they get together, have a bit of a romance, he leaves her in the hospital because he doesn't know what to do. And then basically many years pass by. But then what happens is his friend shows him that she is due to marry someone. So he goes to the black guy that was chasing her at the beginning, and or he finds him, let's put it that way, because they're always watching him, and he asks to help to get to the wedding because he wants to stop the wedding. Doesn't want her to marry this other person because he loves her. So basically the black guy spends all this time, makes him wear a hat. He has to wear a hat, he has to do things in a certain way that he can open doors and he can get through these kind of like, well, they're not portals, but the doors lead them through different places and get there quicker. So that's what needs to happen, and he needs to get to the registry office, and then guess what? She goes to the toilet, he finds her in the toilet, and then he starts talking to her. Then basically the Adjustment Bureau are coming for him, and he says, you've got to trust me, we've got to go. And then he starts, because he's got the hat on, he can open the doors. And then it leads to this bit here, which is nearly at the end of the film. Anyway, happy watching the next bit.
Go back. I love you.
Did you really think you could reach the chairman and change your fate if you did, or write your own? It doesn't work like that, and I told you why.
Is this some sort of test? In a way. It's all a test. For everybody. Even the members of the Adjustment Bureau. David, you risked everything for Elise. And Elise, when you came through that door at the Statue of Liberty, you risked everything too. But you inspired me. Seems like you inspired the chairman too.
Is that about us?
Yes.
What does it say?
Well, it says that this situation between the two of you is a serious deviation from the plan. So the chairman rewrote it.
Okay. Now what?
Now, you can take the stairs.
Most people live life on the path we set for them, too afraid to explore any other. But once in a while, people like you come along who knock down all the obstacles we put in your way. People who realize free will is a gift you'll never know how to use until you fight for it. I think that's the chairman's real plan. That maybe one day, we won't write the plan. You will.
So that's the end of the film. They end up being together, which wasn't written in the script. They changed the script. Go on, Nigel, explain what happened.
Well, explain what happened. Look, let me try and let me throw something into your head. If you go to any church or drive past any church, you will always see, or quite often you will see, God is love. And people go, oh, that's all nice and fluffy, that God is love. But in reality, what they're saying is love is quote unquote God. And I think the biggest, the big truth drop in that movie is when she kisses him and she says that I love you. Then for the Adjustment Bureau, it's all over, because what they're intimating is that love cannot be overcome, love cannot be beaten. If two people genuinely, honestly love each other, then that is the quote unquote God, because God can't be beaten. God is the all powerful and all that nonsense that we've been indoctrinated into. The meaning that we've been indoctrinated with is not the true meaning. The true meaning to me simply means quite clearly that love is God, or God is love, whichever way around you want to look at it. But in that movie, once it gets to that point, the Adjustment Bureau realise that they love each other, then it's all over. It's all over for the Adjustment Bureau. They have no choice but to change their script and to change the reality, or their perceived reality, their timeline, so that these guys can be together, because they're not going to beat God. It can't be overcome. That is probably one of the most powerful takeaways from that movie. But I just think it's full of truth drops. I really do.
The only problem is that I told you, I've done those videos, that Matt Damon is all these other people, and all these other people are Matt Damon. So we don't even know who we're watching and what it's about, but not to take that side of it into account, just to take the story.
Karen, I think we need to look through that, or look past that, and concentrate on the storyline, because the actors and the people portraying that story, I think in this instance, it's immaterial. It doesn't matter. I've been focusing on the storyline, the truth drops, the hidden meanings that are actually in the story. Who actually plays the part, in my opinion, is immaterial. It doesn't matter.
And it's called.
So I don't think it reflects or affects the videos that you've done on these actors playing multiple actors.
But the film is called The Adjustment Bureau, and so everybody needs to watch The Adjustment Bureau.
Oh, good, yeah. But even if they do, a lot of people are not going to get it. But after listening to what's been happening, what's been going on between me and you, and all the hassles that we've been having, and then watch that movie, it's just insane. It's absolutely off the charts crazy.
Not just that, it took me it's taken me hours just to do this little recording, and then the last time it let me record that one, but the video then refreshes itself. All these things were happening, or I was trying to record it and it wouldn't let me do the voicing, it kept cutting off, or it kept, when the blue light flashes, it starts going, so I had to go through all that and it just wouldn't let me record it.
Well, that's because they want you to give up. The same in the movie. You guys can't be together, and if you are, well, you can't be the president, and you can't be this wonderful famous dancer. And then in the end they go, well, shit.
Yeah, she's a dancer, by the way. That's her career. She's a dancer. She's a dancer, just to let everybody know.
Right.
I don't know if we said that bit, but basically it was, it was told if he stayed with her, she won't have a career, you won't be president. So that's why he left her, because he thought, oh, what a load on my... He just left her because he thought, right, well, she needs to carry on her destiny. But then when he found out she was going to get married to someone else, he stops the wedding. And then how they get to being on top of here is because he loves her and doesn't want her to marry, and she doesn't even want to marry the man she's marrying because they love each other. But it's taken, what, 5-6 years to do the whole thing?
Something like that. Yeah. It took a long time, but that just showed their commitment to each other, and that again is another truth drop.
And what was the other truth drop you heard? The test.
Oh, it's loads of truth drops.
Do you remember? He said well, they passed it was a test.
That's right. Yeah. When the Adjustment Bureau said to him, "Is it?" Or I can't remember which way around.
He said, "Is it me? Is it us?"
Matt
or
said to the Adjustment Bureau, "Is this a test?" And he said, "Yeah, of course it is." He said, "It's a test for you and it's a test for us." In other words, he meant it's how well they did their job. The Adjustment Bureau people, they were being tested as well. So, yeah, it's just huge, one big test. And I know Matt from Quantum of Conscience. I mean, he's been saying it for years that this reality, this realm, is just some kind of test for us.
I also think that, I have Major Ula. Is it Major Ula? I think that's his name. He makes these videos where he captures things, and even when he puts photographs together, they all make demons and that. But I can see it when I'm filming at night time. You can just see all these weird things out there, and I'm wondering whether they're like predators, so they're there in the fabric of where we live, but we can't see them on a day-to-day because they're like predators, so they're unseen. So they're still there.
Well, the veil is definitely thinning, without a doubt. If it wasn't, there wouldn't be this amount of truth coming out all over the place, in all different subjects, all different topics.
Well, this was 2011, your favourite number, 11.
Okay.
This is your favourite year. It was in 2011. 11.
Yeah. And number 2 in Roman numerals is 11. So really you got 1111.
Yeah, I never heard of this film before.
Context. So yeah, it's really, really powerful, really powerful. It certainly resonates with me, and I know it resonates with you. We've actually got our own personal experiences that relate directly, or we can relate directly to the storyline or the theme in that movie. I mean,
and also in the film, Nigel, he says, well, you think that you've lost your keys or you've spilt your drink and it's by accident. He said sometimes it is, but most of the time it's us. It's us doing it. So you think you've got... Yeah, you think you've got destiny and fate and all that, but it's not happening like that. It's all being done for you. It's a script.
Well, I've said this before many, many times, that fate and destiny, they have exactly the same meaning. The only difference being that we usually associate fate with something bad, as in a fatal accident, and we associate destiny with being something unexpected that happens that's good. So they really have exactly the same meaning, but they're just polar opposites when it comes to how we actually use them.
Yeah, anyway, so we're going to finish now. The last words?
I'm just still blown away. And I think, there will be a point when we can tell, we can do a little video, a little podcast where we can actually tell our subscribers after they've watched the Adjustment Bureau, and we can tell them a few things that have happened actually between you and I as we've been trying to do what we're doing, and how we have personally been affected, or how together we've been affected by this, because it really does. It blows me away. It's absolutely off the charts. But on the other hand, it makes so much sense. You know, I mentioned Matt from Quantum of Conscience. I mean, you know, he's one of the best presenters on YouTube, in my opinion.
Hey, I don't want to say
He's been talking about this for years.
I don't want to say that we caused the lockdown, but we decide to meet each other. We go into lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And now China, I mean, you've been telling me for a while that China's going to go into lockdown, but I didn't think it was going to go into lockdown in the same way that it did before. Everybody's got to stay at home. But they've basically just announced that the borders are closed for Chinese people. They can't leave. So essentially the country has gone into a different type of lockdown, which you've been telling me for weeks that it will. And I'm like, no, because again, I've been relating or imagining lockdown to being the quarantine, stay home, and you know, don't go out for 14 days, which turns into months and months and months. But no, it seems that they put a blanket ban right now on any Chinese citizen leaving the country.
Which is a lockdown, isn't it? That's lockdown, really.
Yeah, it's just a different type of lockdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said it, you called it, and you were right.
So, anyway, my darling, we're going to finish now.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for watching.